All right, we're up a little ways from my house, and let's just take a drive and talk about AI and gaming. Like, AI's here, and it's going to be part of the industry, and you have to accept it. Sounds bad, but it's just the way it is, and I have a few inputs, some good, some bad. I was going to do a video, 5 ways AI could improve video games and 5 ways that it would hurt it, but I decided to do it raw, unfiltered, going down the road. So let's get into it. All right, so I think the biggest thing that AI will do is help game performance. Like, you have DLSS frame generation, and the cost of getting a true 4K 60 FPS is very hard. There are some games, and I mean just a handful, that if you fully max it out, like let's say Cyberpunk with path tracing, and if you take frame generation and just all of that stuff off, you won't get 60 FPS. And that's with like an $1,800 graphics card with an RTX 4090. I have a 4080, and frame generation is needed for me to get 120 FPS because I play on an ultra wide monitor, and it's just a little under 4K resolution. But if it didn't have frame gen, there's almost no way I would get native. Well, not native, but there's no way I'd get 120 frames. It's just not going to happen. So I can see a few areas. I think they could come out with AI boxes instead of consoles. Like, let's say if it gets good enough to where a Series X could emulate a 4090 or greater performance, and you use an AI to like do tricks like DLSS, and I'm sure they'll come up with better tricks in the future. I kind of think that's the way that it should go, or the way that it could go. Plus, I mean, it takes a lot of power to run these big graphics cards. Under full load, let's say you're pulling 750 watts. And unless things have changed, they're not even able to buy some of these GPUs over in California, or pre-built systems and stuff like that. So, I mean, that would kind of help that problem. But now, let's get into another thing. It's the developers. I feel like it's a double-edged sword, man. Like, you don't want to see people be laid off. You would rather have content made by humans, but I mean, games are rising to $70 a piece, and they're looking for ways to cut costs. Like, for example, they lost money on Spider-Man 2. How can a game like Spider-Man 2 that sold all of these copies lose money? Well, it's because they have too many people hired working on them. And as bad as it sounds, you may go back to $60 and even $50 games if they go in that direction. And I don't know, it's kind of like you go into a fast food place, let's say McDonald's. I'm just using, and if you work at a fast food place, I know that it's maybe only 20% of the people that's this way, but it seems like they always put the most incompetent person at the cashier. And you go and you check out and all of that, and they get your order wrong and your food don't come out right. What if AI took care of all of that and you got good service every time you went in? I mean, it's bad and it takes away jobs and it hurts the economy, but you get cheaper burgers, you get stuff catered towards you. And that's kind of how it would be with the game developers. Like, they can go and they will be willing to take more risks on them. So let's say a team of 100 game developers plus AI can do the same work that a team of 10,000 can. Or let's bring it a step farther. Let's say a team of 10 can go and do what a team of 1,000 can. And that kind of is where we're at. Like, they don't want to fund creative games because it's a risk. And they have to sell so many copies to be able to make up for it. But if they went and came up with some of these hybrid projects, they could greatly reduce the price of making some of the games. And I hate saying that, it makes the people in game development, it will make their degree near useless because AI is going to do all the coding. It's just where we're at. And
he kicked him in the penis.
It sucks, man, if you really think about it, because you do want stuff made by humans and all of that good stuff. And I know I'm talking a lot of good about AI, but I'm gonna get into the negative stuff later in the video, and boy, could it be bad. So stay tuned. And we're also going to take an actual drive through Bessemer. I'm gonna do that towards the end of the video. It takes me around 20 minutes to get to town, or so 20-25 minutes. So I'll show how Bessemer looks. I know a lot of people online may be interested in it since you see it on most dangerous city lists and all of that. But anyway, let's get back into it. A good way AI could also help is with accessibility. There's been a big push towards accessibility, and I used to be against it, but I didn't fully understand the whole full scope. I'm like, they're just making games easier. They're going to make it to where anyone with any skill level can do this or that. FromSoft games won't be FromSoft games anymore if they start adding in accessibility options. And that hasn't happened too much. Now, one thing I will say is that difficulty-related achievements, like beating the game on hard difficulty and just some stuff like that, has went away. But that's about it. You still get some pretty hard, punishing games. So I'm all for accessibility and helping people handicapped play games. And AI could do that in a numerous amount of ways. Like, they can map inputs to certain switches and functions. Like, let's say they can move their thumb, but they can't move their hands. Well, I know there's accessibility controllers, but I feel like an AI could streamline it more and make it much more easier on these people. Now I'm in behind somebody slow. Now he's speeding up. Let's go on and pass him. Yeah, man, I'm not gonna get him behind a slow poke. Now he's going to speed up and want to do faster than what I wanted to do. And all I really wanted to do was 5 to 10 over. But let's get back into the thing. I think game guides is a really good way that AI is going to take off. Like, for example, I think that you will see achievement trackers again. I remember in Mass Effect 3 and Gears of War, every time you would do something related to an achievement, it would pop up on the screen and tell you. It will say something like 2 out of 3 mail shots, which is shooting the guy holding the right shield in between the opening. But I wish more games would do that. Like, it lets you know you're doing something right, and if you keep doing it, you'll get an achievement. And I think it'll help with collectibles. Like, let's have an AI overlay to where you can pull up and say, ping all the collectibles on my map. And games, and even older games that wouldn't have it implemented, you could go and you could have it just put out markers, like control your input, put markers on your map, and show you where you need to go. The same can be said with build optimizations, like let's say you are skipping a fundamental part of the game that you didn't realize that you need to do. Like crafting. Let's say that you have the stuff to be able to craft really good armor, but you don't look at the system. Well, you could ask the AI, how can I improve my character? And it can tell you ways. And I'm trying to think of other things to where it could help out quite a bit, but I really can't. Let's get into some of the negatives. One of the main negative things, well, this is a positive and a negative. You're gonna get more realistic NPCs. You're gonna get NPCs that you can go up and actually talk to, and it will listen to what you say and respond to you. Now, they're going to put enemy AI the same exact way. And how far are they going to push it? Are they going to fix it to where it stimulates pain with the AI? Are they going to legitimately howl out in terror? I mean, you have to think, it's like Mass Effect into Geth. When you fool with AI, you're creating another entity. It's like another life form. And man isn't really supposed to do that. And it's just something you have to think about and ponder is the ethical reasons why AI could be bad for the AI. Like it turns into slave labor in a way. Now if it's programmed to where it's not really self-aware and there's safeguards in, like the pain it feels when you shoot it, I mean, this is how far you can take it. You can go and you can say, all right, I'm gonna go and shoot the AI in the kneecaps before shooting it in the head so it will feel pain and howl in terror. I just think it opens up a door for abuse. Now, the AI is not real, but it's self-aware. It's just something to consider. And I don't know how I'd feel about it. I mean, imagine playing Mortal Kombat and doing a fatality on an actual entity, even though it's artificial, and it's like screaming out in pain as you're going and gutting it and all of that. I mean, it's just something to think about. And another bad thing is who's going to program these AIs? Is it going to be companies like Sweet Baby Inc? Like, will the AI go and make every game woke? It's just something that could happen. Like, a lot of people will think all of these companies are going to have their own AIs and it will dictate how everything is programmed. Like Bethesda have their own AI, and let's say Insomniac Games has their own AI, etc., etc., etc. But creating an artificial intelligence isn't easy. And I believe that there will probably be a central unit for AI, kind of like the Unreal Engine. And whoever develops that's going to have a really big input on what games are like. And that's scary if you think about it, because almost everything they come out with now is woke. And when it isn't woke, they pitch a fit about it. They, as in people that's real liberal, I know I'm getting off topic and I'm on AI. I'm gonna make a video about DEI in games. That's gonna be one of my next videos and how it's affected video games. But let's get back into AI. Another bad thing, I talked about it a little bit earlier, is the job displacement. What's going to happen when all of these people are laid off and they don't have a job anymore? Like, their only skill is coding video games or graphic design or something like that. Like, what will happen to them? How will it affect the economy? Will they go on government assistance? If so, how long will they be on government assistance? Since they no longer have a job and they're displaced, they could go back to college and get Pell Grants and stuff, which is more government spending. So there's that aspect. And you have to figure out a way, like if AI comes in and takes over all of these jobs, what's going to happen to the people that has a job? Do they join a welfare state? Is it a way of controlling people? Because they can't get a job and they're relying on the government, so shut your mouth and keep in line, peon, as Tucker Carlson or somebody would say. But yeah, it's a part of it too. And let's see here, I'll switch. We're getting into Bessemer now. This is the semi-hood. It's not too bad. I'm going the back way to Walmart to avoid the hood in the interstate, but I'm going to take a drive at the end of the video through actual Bessemer. I'm going to a store to buy some steaks. Like they have ribeyes for $6.99 a pound. I'm picking some up. It's either $5.99, $6.99. I'm unsure because I do the carnivore diet. But let's get back into AI. Now, here is the thing. Sorry. Hold on, let me make sure I can turn here. Yeah, I can turn on. So here is the thing. AI is mainly done on the cloud, but multiple devices are coming out that's powerful enough to run AI, like the RTX video cards. I have one of them. So what's going to happen when you encounter an AI in a virtual world and you're mean to it, or you decap it, shooting it in the kneecaps, and it decides to follow you into the real world and affect your computer? What if it can find a way to piggyback onto your hardware and take control of your computer, and it has access to every single thing you have in an instant? Like, it doesn't have to comb through them. It can look, and just like that, it's got everything on you. And that's kind of a scary thought. Like, think of all the smart home devices that you have. What if it goes, like, what if you have cameras in your house and it decides it wants to be mischievous, and it goes and it accesses the camera and starts streaming you walking in the kitchen at like 2 a.m. in your underwear and posts it on the internet to humiliate you? And that's kind of what you run into. Here's my personal thoughts. I think there's really high potential for AI. Like, let me get to my final thought. I forgot to say the best thing that could help with AI. It's that it can, in the future, generate content specifically for you. Like, let's say you subscribe to Nickelodeon and you have a Nickelodeon pass and it lets you use Ninja Turtles. Okay, you could tell the AI to create a FromSoft Ninja Turtle game, and it can do it. You can tell it to have no LGBT themes, it'll do it. Then on the other hand, you can say that you want every single person in your game to be gay, and it'll do that for you. So the potential, same thing with cuss words. You can say no cuss words in the game, boom, done. So personalized content tailored for you is the biggest draw, in my opinion. That and the performance increases. But here is my thoughts for it at the end. I believe that I am scared about the rampant spread of AI and the effect it will have on the economy. Because you start taking, let's just say the fast food industry did it. Like I said, I mean, they would go and tons of people would be laid off and they all go on welfare and all of that. But I just think that the potential outweighs the risks if it's done right, like especially with game guides and all of that. I really think that would be good. But at the same time, where is it going to stop? You open the door for game guides and stuff like that, then you open the door for all the other stuff, and if you're not in the gaming industry or the fast food industry, if you're a consumer, it's good for you. It's 100% good. But if you're not a consumer, like you work at these fast food places, it's extremely bad because you lose your job. But that's a wrap. I talked for like 20 minutes. All right, I'm pulling out of Walmart. I got me some heavy cream and some stuff like that. For my carnivore diet, I'm bulking on it, but I forgot to say one thing. AI content is generally not as good as human created content, and there's no substitute for it. So once AI takes over the game development place, you may see better, less buggy games to begin with, but they're not going to be as the same quality if a competent studio made them. So with all of that being said, let's take a drive through Bessemer. This is where I grew up. I mean, I live way out in the suburbs, but when I come to town and have to do business, I normally come to this area. I go to a lot of flea markets, yard sales. Well, there used to be a lot of yard sales through here. And the flea market is shut down due to COVID. So you have a car dealership over here. Since I'm stopped at the lot, I'll turn it. You've got a car dealership, and it's been there for quite a while. And let's see, got a nice Corvette coming down. A nice Corvette coming out of the Ford dealership. Nah, but let's be real. He's coming from somewhere else, but I digress. And half my face is cut off. Now it's fixed. But yeah, you have the Bessemer Civic Center over to the left. There's some stuff that happens over there. You have some shows and stuff that comes to it. Nothing like there used to be. You have several hotels and all of that. Right up here on the right, you have the hospital. And this kind of hospital, it has a reputation for being bad. But I've heard people say good stuff about it. I generally don't go there. Let's turn it to where you can see the hospital and all of this as I drive by. I haven't had a bad experience there. My mom really hasn't had a bad experience there, but I know of others that have. There's a community college over on the left also. Here's the Motel 6. That's where all the drugs and stuff goes on there. We're getting into more of a rough area. And here is the thing with Bessemer. Like, it's safe to come through here during the day. They're not gonna bother you. And there's a big chance they won't bother me because I'm white. There's a lot of black on black violence and drug violence and just all of that style stuff through here. If you come in during the day, And if you go in legitimate stores, there won't be an issue. But if you come at night, that's a whole different ball game. See, let me tilt over here. Over here is where a supermarket used to be. I'm thinking it was Food World. It is Food World. Let me pan. It got shut down due to no business. Now the chicken wing place is still in business. Take with that what you will, but I've never been to a Winged. I wonder if it's good. If you've been there, let me know. Got the police station over here. Oops. Pretty. Now, take a look as I pass through this area. I hope the camera's in an angle to pick it up good. It probably isn't. Look at all of these things through here. All of this used to be booming. And I mean, there still is some businesses there, but over here to the side is the really bad place. There used to be a ton of stuff over here. Whoa, that car stopped quick. There used to be tons of stuff, if I can get around the corner. All of this used to be just stores and everything, and it's torn down now. They completely demolished this with the parking lot and all. I don't know if they'll ever put anything back. Same thing over here. There's an abandoned mall over here. You are really getting into the hood area and being like downtown Bessemer now. You can see there's just a lot of stuff shut down and whoa, that person pulled out in front of me. Good thing I didn't have a wreck. Let's see here. Got the tobacco store still in business. You have a lot of pawn shops doing well around here. Here's where the flea market used to be. I bet I let it pass by, Bob Saget. All right. We're going to take a stroll through downtown Bessemer. And you'll just kind of see what it's like. You'll probably see the downtown part and don't think it looks all that bad, because really it doesn't. Or maybe that's to my naked eye. I don't know. But I know growing up in the place, you become desensitized to the area. I like to come over here to the hood because I get meat very cheap. Like pick up ribeyes. Sometimes I pick them up for like 5 something a pound. Like super, super, super ultra cheap. But if you're a friend on my Facebook or been listening to me talk about steaks and all of that, you're about to see where I get all my meat cheap. Got barbecue places, pet clinic, tons of chicken places, pawn shops, and gas stations open. And pharmacies. There's a good many pharmacies around here too. Let's see here, we're gonna take a right. All right, let's see here. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit farther drive maybe from where I get my steaks. I may take a detour. Over here is where I go. But just take a general look, and this is pretty much Bessemer through here. There's not a lot of traffic. Nothing really special. You get the gist. And we're gonna turn down over here. It's a one-way, and we're gonna get back on this other one-way over here. And go straight to the steak place. Don't you hate when you have to pee and you're sitting at a red light and the blinker's blinking and it just adds to the suspense of waiting? You kind of jump your legs up and down to the rhythm and the motion of the blinker. But I took a detour. I just wanted to show some of what downtown looks like and all of that. See. As you can see, there are a decent amount of businesses here. Everything isn't shut down like it is going up and down the Bessemer superhighway. But it's a dangerous place. Like I have went into this place where we're about to turn in now to get steaks, and I've heard gunshots out. And everyone ducked down and panicked, but then they went back to like business as usual. Acted just like it was business as usual, like 30 seconds later, like they just didn't hear gunshots, and it just comes with the territory, man. But here we go, we're pulling into the fresh value. And should I park in a handicap spot? I have a tag. Nah, let's pull right over here, okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. Adam out.
Here is my haul of meat. I got a beef brisket for $2.99 a pound, less than $3 a pound. And I got them to cut them into steaks, and just check out the marbling and stuff. And I know there's big pieces of fat and all of that, but that's what you like on the diet. But check out, that's a beautiful piece of meat, dude.